Hello, Wendy.
Hi.
Hi. So I am staying at the historic haunted Brookstown Inn. This is where I'm filming on my side of the pond tonight. And if there's anything that comes from this, from my stay here, then it'll be on a future episode. But really, I was just giving you a rundown of why my background looks so awesome. It's because I have this cool hotel room that I'm staying in. I am on the fourth floor. I'm in the most haunted room. I lucked out and got a deal on it because I had to come on a Sunday. But whatever. So hopefully there will be some evidence to bring for a future episode from this location. There's a lot of stories about a woman who was murdered, pushed down the elevator shaft. They think that her name is Sally. There's also a cat that passed away not too long ago that they had named it Sally, probably as in honor of the spirit that's here. So now both are passed away spirits. There's also rumors that someone is just in your room with you and they think that that is Sally and she's usually staring at you. So it's a little, I mean, she's probably just as confused as you are, but it sounds like it's a little unnerving to wake up in the middle of the night and then there's just some spirit staring at you. We'll see if that happens. I might be calling you at 3 a.m. as I'm leaving.
What's crazy is that's what you always hope for in these haunted locations, and especially when you're doing like a hotel and stuff, that, something's going to happen and the spirits are just there and watching you, but like also not at the
No.
same time because it's so jarring.
Mhm.
Like, well, I mean, it's personally never happened. Well, not since I was a child, but to you, you've not while sleeping, but just you've ran into ghosts. They're just there. You
Yeah.
just look and they're there. And so to wake up and be staring at that, like my kid does that to me all the time. I'll wake up and they're just like beside my bed, you
Yeah.
know? But to know
Mm.
that it can't be another person, but what if it is? Like, what if it's a lot? Now you have to like figure out, is this the ghost I was looking for, or is this
Mhm.
somebody that's broken into my hotel room? Not to give you that mindset, knowing you have to sleep there by yourself tonight.
Right. Right.
Sorry.
Look, that has already happened. I was unpacking and a man just like unlocked the door and came in. And he's like,
No.
"Oh, yeah." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "I'm so sorry. You must have just checked in." I said, "I did." He's like, "I am so sorry." And then he leaves. I think he was coming to check on the room, but I was just like, so I went and dead bolted and like I did all of the things, which are, yeah, that's already happened. So, I mean, I've already got that part out of the way, at least for tonight. Nobody else is
Oh
coming in.
my God.
Just walk right into the room.
I hope you are sleeping with a knife or a can of mace or
Isn't it
something
crazy?
by your
Oh
bed.
my gosh, no
Could be
kidding.
like stabbing at the ghost.
I'm gonna break my bottle of vodka after tonight's investigation and
That's
just
what it
have
looks
it.
like. That's multi-purpose. I love it.
That's
I love
right.
it. That's terrifying. But that happened. My sister one time they gave her the wrong keys, and the people weren't in the room. Thank God. But I was going with her into her room, and you saw like a suitcase and a CPAP machine, and you were like,
Oh my
"Yeah,
gosh,
I'm
everyone.
pretty sure somebody's in here."
Oh,
And
no.
so we just left. And then there's a girl that I worked with that when she was in Hawaii, some people just came into their room in the middle of the night.
No, my God,
Yeah.
no.
And they just kind of like woke up and looked at them, and the people just kind of turned away and left. And they never understood, was that like another guest, a hotel person, a murderer?
Right, a ghost. What was it? Why did they come in? What happened? I don't know. I don't know. I am nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up nervous. Mostly because, it didn't hit me when I was, yeah, I'm gonna do this hotel. It's only 2 hours away. It'll be a good, like, we can see how this goes with doing like a call ghost hunt. And we did it before at the SK Pierce house, but I was surrounded by other ghost hunters. So, but yeah, it hit me, that basically I'm going to be here by myself. When we stop recording and when it's time for you to go night night, I am going to be night nighting by myself. So I do have a little bit of nerves. I came in, I talked to the spirits here. I have already done kind of like an EVP session. I think I already got voices. So I was like, okay, great. It's haunted. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. I did tell them too that I was going to be talking to you and you were going to be investigating with me through the internet. And I hope that I don't offend them with the other haunted locations that I'm going to be speaking about on the show tonight, because I do have two for you. And mostly because actually I didn't feel like I had a lot of evidence from one of the locations, and it was a pretty big location for us. So I started looking around, and I found another one and just a handful of EVPs. And I thought, oh, okay, cool, I can do both of these. So I'm going to start out with the smaller of the two, and that is going to be, believe it or not, EVPs that we captured while we were roaming the halls of the Tilly Pierce House Inn in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Yeah, right. It was a 2021, maybe. I don't know. I thought I
Yeah.
wrote it down. Yeah,
No, yeah,
right.
that's right. 2021. That's yeah, when Carl and I came out and we explored Pennsylvania together. And the Tilly House, that's where we stayed, right? That was the
It
name.
is.
Yeah,
Yep,
right there in the heart of like we were right down the street from the cemetery and everything.
we were. Yeah. So that's the cool part about this house and its history is basically when the Pierce family bought that location. It's funny that they were Pierces, and I just mentioned SK Pierce. But when the Pierce family bought that house, it was just to, raise their family and grow and whatever. They had no idea what was going to be on their doorstep shortly after they moved in. And what happened was Tilly was a young child, and they sent her south to thinking that they were going to get her away from the battle when actually they pushed her right into it. And she became kind of like the youngest nurse by accident. She was bringing food and bringing aid to the soldiers that needed it. And then when she finally came back to her house, she wrote like the memoirs of everything that she experienced. They ended up leaving the house at some point, and as sort of like a in remembrance of her and her service, they named the house after her, the Tilly Pierce House Inn. And I mean, like the soldiers were forever grateful for her service. And some think that the reason why the house is haunted is because of what she did. Now, she didn't die there at the house, but she moved away. She moved back to Philly, and she passed away in Philadelphia. But some feel like her spirit still resides in that house, probably because of she poured her heart and soul out. And maybe she still feels like she needs to protect the soldiers or protect the house. Who knows? It's all hearsay. But some feel like they hear soldiers marching upstairs. They'll hear voices. And let's see, what else did they say? Tilly Pierce, soldiers,
I mean, it's just a
that sort of thing.
location with a lot of history and
Hmm.
energy. Like that humongous battle happening there and everything
Right?
created this like kind of vortex in a
Yeah.
sense of heightened emotional energy. So even if it's not her specifically, I mean, I don't know what EVPs you have.
Right.
It could be other people from that time and just the
Yeah.
emotions that were imprinted. But it was also her childhood home, so you would think that she would have some kind of connection to it. This is a side note, but are
Mhm.
those glasses new?
No, these are the same. They're probably just, I think I'm sitting in a different position because of the way that the desk is here. So maybe you're just getting a better look at them. No, these are my same glasses.
Oh, well, you just look so pretty today.
Oh, thank you. That's fear. I must look, fear looks
You're
good on
just
me.
glowing with it.
So I look when I'm scared, I'm going to die. Um, I think the nerves are keeping my skin nice and tight. So okay, but anyways, yeah, no, I don't have anything that actually points out what spirits were communicating with us. Like none of them jumps out and says, "Hey, I'm Tilly," but I do have some really interesting voices that I think you're really going to like. So let me see if I can remember how to do this part of it. All right, so if you're ready, turn your volumes up because I've got some very whispery EVPs for you. Actually, I think the first two are kind of loud, but then they fluctuate. We get some quiet ones, we get some louder ones. Not everyone's yelling at us, but all right. So what I have is a condensed clip, as I usually do. I took a much longer clip and turned it into, I don't know, approximately 5 minutes. And I got about 10 or so EVPs here. Um, during this time, we are walking through the halls of the Tilly Pierce House Inn. We go and we sit in a back room and we do some investigations back there. We end up leaving, coming back down the hallway, and then we go down into the main floor where we investigate like the kitchen area and like another sitting formal area. I'm gonna tell you right now, nothing happened whatsoever downstairs. Everything was all in the hallway.
Oh,
As soon as we left that floor, no more EVPs. And I was like, okay, clearly it's not my brain then, because I'm sure I would still be my brain would still be like, here's a whispery voice or here's something. I got nothing else after we left our floor, like where we were staying. So if you were hoping to get a whole bunch of like shots of the inside of Tilly Pierce house with this, you're not going to see it. Friends of the channel, you're only really going to see the one floor. So both of those are really kind of echoey and whispery, and it happens as soon as you and I come out of your room.
I love it because,
I
like you
know.
said, all the voices are up there. So as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, they want to be up in the bedroom, especially since there's like other guests and stuff. And so they're probably interested in them, and that's just where more of the energy and the activity is happening for them. And I love how we're like, peace, we're leaving, and they're like, get back in here, right?
Yes.
What?
Right. Where are you
You don't want to
going?
go downstairs?
Mhm.
And that second one to me is really loud and very clear. Get back in
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I love both of them together over here and get back in here. Like it was just as soon as I'm so glad I had started recording as soon as I did because they were immediately on us. Like, wait a second, ladies. Hold on. And like this came right after we just left Wendy's room. We were just looking through like a journal or a diary that had been left there of all of the experiences other people had had, right? And we were goofing and making some like basically making it look like we had been taken in the middle of writing our experience, like the word just fell off the page. So we were having fun with it, and like as soon as we left, there they are. They're like, wait, come on back.
Maybe they thought we were very entertaining. And so they were like, let's go
All
back to
right.
that. Where are you going?
Right. I know. I wish I had that on film, but I didn't record that at the time because then I could have shared it. But I think maybe the voices followed us out of your room.
Yeah.
That's yeah. A little spin. All right, so I wanted to leave that one a little longer just so you could hear how clunky and loud it is that we're walking down the hall. Like the floorboards were so creaky in here. It sounded like we were taking wood and beating the wood floor as we're walking, like it's just so loud and plank-like noises. I wanted to bring that up because we hear noises a little later and we're trying to figure out what the heck it is. And obviously, if someone was walking down that hallway, it sounds it sounds like someone's I don't know bowling in the hallway. It's so loud.
Yeah, it was very noisy floors.
Hmm.
But you can clearly hear. I mean, I don't know if all of that is as clear as like what we just heard, but I
Yeah,
hear the supposed to be here. I almost think there's something before that where they're
yeah.
like, we're not supposed to be here or they're not supposed to, something like that. But yeah, it's enough to make it out that it's a sentence for sure.
I have a theory on it. I wonder if it plays into this next clip or the one after it. But there's a point where you realize the room that we're headed to, the floors are completely different. Like they're brand new. Like the room itself looks odd. And you had mentioned that you're like, why are the floors in here different? Why does it look weird? And you're kind of questioning all of that. And I thought maybe this voice is actually them saying, like, that's not supposed to be here. Like it's odd to them. We're heading into a room that doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
Could be. I don't know. I love to speculate. Spirits
Well,
just keep saying half sentences for me.
I remember that though because there were stairs that led up to this little sitting area and that you could enter the house that way. And I guess it was for smokers or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was for, but you know that the house wasn't originally built like that. They didn't have a second story entryway or anything. So, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's how they feel. They don't like when you change stuff. They all say that
No.
when there's
Yeah.
construction and there's change, it throws them off.
Yeah, I think that it definitely causes some kind of chaos in them still being stuck in this house, in this place, and now it doesn't make sense. So I kind of thought that that's what it was. Not supposed to be here. I couldn't tell if it was not supposed to be in here, but it does sound like there's more to it. It's kind of whispery just before. I'll go back and play a little bit of it again. Yeah, almost it sounds like actually it's not supposed to be here. Like there is another word
Yeah,
in there. It's just really low.
I just don't think they're talking about us.
Yeah. No, I think that point it's it just was interesting to me because like I said later on, you start questioning like this room that we're going into and I thought, I wonder if they were also saying it's not supposed to be here.
Hmm.
The haunted TV that just turns on all by itself.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I was being goofy. I don't remember the story about a haunted TV. Sometimes I just say shit. Okay, but at this point, and I blurred it because I jump out of the scene, but you'll hear him hit the floor. We're talking about we brought some toys for the cats. There's allegedly a spirit cat in this room. So Wendy's like, yeah, drop him on the floor, and that's you hear me dropping him on the floor.
Yeah, that'd be unsettling. Be like, all right, well, good night.
So what's funny is in this hotel that I'm staying in, there's supposed to be screaming that you hear. And that's what we're talking about right now in this video is the screaming that's heard by many other people that have stayed at the Tilly Pierce House Inn. So that's what we're talking about at this moment.
I just want to say real quick that you obviously can see now or hear now or realize now that we are whispering to each other, and it's because
Yes.
there's other hotel guests. And yes, we're saying that these EVPs are whispery, but you
Mm.
hear how loud Chris is, even whispering, because she's holding her camera. So those whispers that we just played or that Chris just played for you, that's not her. And you hear that I'm whispering and I can't even make out what I'm saying right now. So I don't think those whispers are me either. Plus I felt like that you can very clearly make out some of those words and I just don't think that that's anything that I would be saying. So I just want to
Right.
point that out for anybody that starts to see us whispering and are like, dummy, those voices are you. I still do not believe that there are our voices
No,
for
good
those
call
reasons.
out.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I didn't even think to mention it. I'm so used to hearing our voices that when I hear voices like that, I know that they're not us.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, here we are whispering. And Wendy is so quiet that it's almost a matter of reading her lips to be like, oh, yeah, 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 that's right. Now I remember what she was talking about. And then I think we're about to talk about the noise we hear in the hallway, but there is a whisper that comes through that is so, so, so quiet. But you'll see that your mouth is closed and you're not reacting to anything that you would hear me saying. So it's obviously not me. So let me just go to that.
For 15 minutes.
So I didn't loop them. I'm replaying. It's just a couple of bangs that we hear out in the hallway. And then I go on to talk about how it sounds like a cat or something. But now the AC's on, so it's
Though it doesn't sound like floorboards creaking or something. It sounds like someone's scuffling around. Mm-hmm. Like a cat playing with a bug.
Okay, now I hate that the AC kicked on when it did because I think those voices would have been a little bit louder. But I love that right as you happen to look over, it's almost as if you were expecting something to happen. That's when I hear these two voices, and I'll just keep playing it so you can hopefully hear it again. And it's another one of those where I feel like I am hearing voices before that, but it's so hard to make out, and the AC's blowing that I just decided. I mean, I should have probably put maybe unexplained voices in there, but I just didn't. It's so hard to make out. You're just gonna hurt yourself trying to figure it out. So I left that untouched.
I could definitely hear what you're talking about though, and I mean, and I would make out those same exact words too. Like it's a male voice, and
Hmm.
it's just deeper. It's like you hear the air condition noise, and but then there's this deeper like voice
Hmm.
within it. So
Within it.
yeah.
Yeah, and another thing that was interesting about that is the voices that I had heard prior to this sounded female to me, and now here we are with the male voice finally. And there you go, asking about the floors.
Cheap replacements.
That was what I was talking about. You were like, what why is this room so much different than everything else?
Yeah, I watch too much HGTV, and I
Oh,
at every fucking place that we're in, especially these old houses, I'm like, oh, they remodeled this, or I would remodel this. But sometimes it just can't get out of my brain. I obsess over things like I think I'm a contractor.
well, even if that's what was going on, I thought it was interesting that the EVP to me made like, I don't know, reaching out, talking about that room not supposed to be there before you are also like doing your contractor mindset. Hold on a second. This needs a redecoration. Why'd they do this?
Yeah.
All right. So we have left that room in the back and now we're heading back towards the room that Wendy was staying in before we make our way down. And we're going to get a couple more EVPs here. And I think the one that's so stupid is kind of the loudest of all of them. It is. It's kind of bassy. It's like stupid. But so Wendy had poked her head into her room, and I turned around and I'm just filming the stairs. One thing that seems to have been a common theme here lately is that Wendy and I are picking up, and a lot of our EVPs were getting a ringing noise. And I was shocked to hear it again here. Now, this could have been actually maybe just a residual ringing of like the bell downstairs because of what's being said. Like there's no one down there. And then someone's like, front door, please, stupid. Like, no, there's someone down there. Or it might have been something completely different. So, anyways, I think these are the last set of EVPs that I got here. And I'll just play them again. And I like the way "there's no one down there" sounds like these. So these are probably the quietest too. Like they got quieter and quieter as we stayed. And then again, these are the last of the EVPs that I got here. But the way that she says "there's no one down there," like she kind of has a little bit of a draw to it. And I love that part of the EVP. Of course, I also love the ringing and "stupid." Like,
Well,
um,
the best thing about the stupid is you're absolutely right. The first three sets of EVPs are all very similar voice, so they
mhm,
could be the same person or entity. And then that stupid is a lot deeper, so it's like a
mhm,
totally different person. And now
yeah,
there are two spirits interacting at the same time, or around us at the same time.
right. So I'm going to play this just a little bit longer because I was kind of shocked to have recorded something that I said after all of that. That's me. And I guess I don't replay it. But yeah, I you'd come back out and I said, "Why does it feel like someone's following?" Because someone was. That's why. That's why. I think that was it. Yeah, that's all that happened there. And so another thing is the voice that says "there's no one down there." I thought about that a little bit later too, and thought actually maybe they were telling us as we were rounding the stairs to go down to investigate because I got no more EVPs after we left this floor.
Yeah, yeah. It's like maybe it wasn't a residual conversation where they're talking about the door, get to the front door, and nobody's down there to like get the front door or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe they really were talking to us in that moment.
right. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I was really excited to get just the handful of EVPs. A lot of ghost hunters have been to this location and have gotten just tons of EVPs from their investigations. I was lucky enough to have gotten a handful. And this was a really long video. Like we went downstairs, we were downstairs for, it felt like hours. Nada, nada. So, anyways, that was boop, 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 boop. That was my first part of the show. The next place that I'm going to be reviewing evidence with you is one that has been on many shows. It's been in the movies as well. It's a very infamous location. There was also a battle there, and one of the family members wrote a book about it too. So there is that in common that I had between these two cases. But otherwise, that's about it. This is the Conjuring House that we stayed in, and that was in, I don't even remember what year that was, 2024,
Yep.
23, 2024. Okay,
2024, yep.
2024. So this was a slam dunk. Like we could not have believed our luck with this location. We had rented before they shut down because of all of the publicity that this place has gotten, bad publicity. They were doing these sort of like glamping tents out on their property. Like you could, I think, still rent out the location, but they wanted your firstborn, your legs. You know, they it was expensive. So we both of them. You know,
it was 15, it's 1500, or it was, I guess, because it's not open. It was $1,500 to rent it
mm,
for the night on a weekend if you wanted the house, and you could only rent it Saturday and Sunday because the other nights of the week they did their tents, and like when they
mhm.
do the tents they don't do the house, and when they do the house they don't do the tents. And so we had rented a tent because that's our
Yeah.
budget.
But right. And we did it way in advance too. So we got like the Perrin, I don't know, whatever was called, something tragedy, something horrible and terrifying out in the woods. And we thought it's a tent. I mean, we've both been camping before. How bad can it be? It's on the property. The property's supposed to be haunted. There's supposed to be, soldiers and things like that you might see shadow figures. You might hear something. It's near, there's some graveyard back there too. So, okay, well, whatever. We'll do the glamping. Wendy showed up and we had a tour of the house. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for us, there was a major storm rolling into the area, like one of the biggest alleged storms that the area had seen in forever. And we're supposed to be out in a fucking tent on this property. So like we talked to a couple of the tour guides that were there, and one of them is Amanda. Can't remember her name. She has her own Instagram. She's big on the social media. I think it's shoot, I should have been more prepared for this. New
Spooky.
England. Is it
It's a,
Spooky New England?
yeah, Spooky New England, and it's Amanda something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's I think it's spooky.new.england. But anyways, we ended up talking to her. Like, hey, what is the plan if this terrible storm comes and we're out in a tent? And she was like, first of all, I think she was like, you're out in a tent. What tent are you supposed to be in? And I kind of thought that was a little weird. Like, oh God, did they forget that we were coming? Like, this is our night, right? I didn't get the dates wrong. Um, and she got on the phone with the lady who was under all of this suspicion and whatever. And she's like, well, would you want to stay in the house? And we're like, well, hell yeah, we want to stay in the house, but we don't have house budget. So like, what do we do? Like, and she said, well, let me talk to her and I'll give you a call. So Wendy and I went out. We went and visited the legendary grave of Bathsheba, the one that's gotten terrible publicity because of the movie, which is, by the way, bullshit. But we went and visited her because there is, I mean, possibility that she's visiting the house now, that she's been involved in it so much. And while we were there at the grave, that's when we got the call from Amanda again saying, hey, I talked to, I can't remember her name. She says, y'all can stay in the house. And I'm like, oh, that's great. How much more though? And she says, no, you're not going to get charged anymore. You're going to get to stay in the house. And I was like, are you fucking playing with me? And she said, there's nobody else here. It's just you two. Yes, ma'am. Great. That's awesome. We got the Conjuring House. And we were not really prepared for it. We were prepared for being out in a tent. I don't think I had as much like equipment with me that I would have wanted to have for the Conjuring House. I don't think, I mean, Wendy flew in from Arizona, so she had what she could bring with her. And she was really, I could say short on sleep, but I think that is the understatement of the year. I don't think you got any sleep.
No, I didn't get any sleep. I barely got any sleep at the Conjuring House, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a red-eye flight. Red-eye flight? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because the just with the time change too, it's always awful to fly from my part of the country to her flight part
Right.
because you lose that 3 hours
Mm-hmm.
at certain times of the year and then 2 hours other times of the year. So I think this was the three. Maybe it was just a two, but I don't know. Nope, it was three. So I was
Yep.
losing 3 hours. So I took a red eye, and this was like the weekend that we should have bought a fucking lottery ticket because not only did
Yeah.
we get the Conjuring House for the price of renting one of their tents, which isn't cheap, by the way, but this wasn't like $25 to go camping or anything. This was like $400 and something to go camping in one of their tents. But still, that's better than 15.
Yeah.
My red eye, I got a whole row to myself.
Yes, you did.
And the rest of the plane was pretty full. Like, I don't think there were a lot of empty seats, and I just happened to get a whole row to myself, and I
Yeah.
took advantage of that bitch. I was stretched out, and at one point in time when I was like tossing and turning, I heard somebody say, is there no other open seats so that they could like stretch out a bit? And thank God the flight attendants weren't like, well, if I wake this girl up, maybe she'd get up and let him him or her have one of these seats, because I was like, I was pretending to be asleep at that point. I was like, I'm not giving it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I hit the ground, in New England, we went running, like, and we always do that to ourselves. We have a full schedule. So
Yeah.
I got a decent amount of sleep on the plane, but it was sleeping on a plane on a 5-hour flight or something, so
Yeah.
it wasn't great.
Right. Right. I think it was just enough to give you just a small amount of energy for doing, what we would do until about 10 or 11. And that's when you should have gone to sleep. But I don't think your body was going to let you, given the circumstances of where we were after what we had already experienced at that location. Like, we were just kind of like jarred. I don't know. That's not what I'm covering tonight. We could talk about it. When we first got there and we went out on the property, like after we went back for our time there, we went to visit like the campsites that were supposed to have been flooded out, or there was something wrong with them, which is why they didn't want us actually staying in the tents to begin with and why they were concerned. As we approached the campsite that we were supposed to stay in, Wendy and I felt like there was something inside the tent moving. Whether it was human or inhuman or animal, we don't know. We didn't hear any noises, but we saw what looked like
Hands.
on like the tent itself.
Yeah.
And that was like, holy shit, what's going on? I phoned into Amanda, like, who is actually staying out here? And she's like, no one should be.
And we asked her too, like, is it common? Tell us the truth. Is it common? I have started
For squatters.
asking this.
Yeah.
I've started asking this at a lot of locations. Like, but I don't expect them to even be honest with me. Like, what's the likelihood of people trying to get into this place, or do people get into this place? And I just feel like sometimes they're not going to be honest because they don't want you to know that it's possibly unsafe. Yeah. But she said, absolutely not. There shouldn't be anybody out there. And I do actually think there's a lock on the tents. I think that's what we figured out later on, that there was some kind of padlock on the zipper. But it looked like, as we're walking and talking and coming up to the tent, it started to look like somebody's hands were like near where the zipper would be. So it's kind of like they were getting ready to stop us from opening this up and discovering them. So it seemed very human, alive, like, squatter-ish behavior. But again, we never heard anything. It just creeped us the fuck out.
It really creeped us the fuck out. Enough to where we were already, okay, our senses are on alert. We need to pay more attention to what's going on. Because at first we've got this whole place to ourselves, but maybe we don't. So there were things that had happened off and on during our investigation that were questionable. After that moment, we were like, is there people out there? There was a car or maybe two of people coming by trying to sneak in and get pictures. And Amanda immediately ran out there and ran them off. Like, she's like, get out of here, get out of this private property, go, 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 go. So she was bulldogging them for real. So, I mean, I know they have cameras. I think that if she saw anything suspicious, she would have definitely acted on it. Some of the voices that I heard throughout the night could have been paranormal, especially like the weird giggling that I heard by the bathroom window, which was unnerving. But also I was like waking up and the sun was coming out. So I was like, that's okay. You do that. You giggle all you want. I see the sun. But just to give a little bit of backstory on this house, if you haven't heard about it before, there's a movie. It's an awesome horror movie. It is not you shouldn't like watch it as a historical document of what happened there. I think even Andrea Perrin has said that, like, okay, she might have exaggerated a little bit in her books. Lorraine Warren, she probably exaggerated a lot. I mean, but there is some paranormal stuff going on there. There have been documented paranormal activities from before the Perrin family, when the Arnolds lived there. And now that was a family that had lived in that house for like 8 generations. There were deaths, there were suicides, there were accidental deaths, things that had happened that might have led to some of the paranormal activity, or again, it could have been from the battle that happened. And that was King Philip's War. Is that right? King Philip's, or the Battle of King Philip's War, something like that. It happened on that property. And then, why not just build an old farmhouse right there? It's all this open space. I mean, yeah. So there's a lot of things that could have led up to the hauntings. I don't really think Bathsheba Sherman was one of them. I think that's just, it's a movie and it's a good one, but don't play into believing that she legit is haunting anybody. She didn't curse nobody. But some of the ghosts that were reported to be there, and this is kind of funny. There is a sweeping ghost, just someone who likes to clean. They leave piles of dirt. And you'll hear the sweeping noise sometimes too. So I don't remember hearing that. There might have been piles of dirt. I don't know. I wasn't really watching out for stuff like that. But that's kind of cute. I almost feel like that's a helpful poltergeist in a situation where there's a mom there and a bunch of kids, and they can see that mom is sort of breaking down and having some emotional shit. So maybe the ghost is just trying to help her out. Like, let me help you with whatever I can, right? And then Abigail Arnold's ghost was supposed to be there too. She is a female spirit who was said to, or thought to have been the one that would tuck the children in at night. So um, that actually plays into something that might that happened to us while we were there. But again, it was a friendly thing. Like I even felt, I guess I jumped all over that. Let me start over. There was something in the area where we slept. I know it, Wendy knows it. But while I was sleeping, something gently caressed my face. I didn't get a tuck in, night night, but my she probably couldn't because my air mattress was deflating. So I was mostly on the floor. But I got a gentle caressing on my face. And I thought, oh, that's so nice. Good night. And I just went right to sleep. Like, that's wonderful. I did. I felt at peace with it. I felt like whatever's here is actually it's a caring spirit. I didn't feel like I needed to be afraid of it. I did hear some banging around and knocking around in the room just right outside us, but it was a windy night. It was a stormy night. It could have been the creaks of the house settling. We don't know this place. It's an old fucking farmhouse from the 1700s, right?
Right.
Could have been rats. I know. But the caressing on the face was definitely a beautiful experience. I really loved that so much. Completely opposite from what Wendy had experienced in that room.
I was doing it to myself. Like, I just could not settle for some reason. And I was just watching everything. So every
Yeah.
little whatever, dancing around of shadows is what I'm watching. And then I'm sleep deprived, right? Or it's getting to that point for sure. So I start to see this like purple light and my eyes are open, but I'm seeing this like dancing around purple light. And now I'm like, am I supposed to be watching you? What are you doing? Like, is that supposed to lead me somewhere? Is there a message in this purple light? And then I'm like, no, I think you're dying, Wendy. Like, I think you're dying, like, you need to go to sleep.
That's what you thought.
like, like, this just can't be healthy or right. So then I'd be like, okay, go to sleep. And I'd tuck in my blanket. And then, nope, 5 seconds later, my eyes would be like, you're there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're somewhere around me. And then, yeah, you heard like creaks and stuff on the
Hmm.
stairs or on the floor right outside of where we were at
Hmm.
all night. And I just couldn't, I kept waiting for something to happen or to
Right.
see something. And that anticipation like kept me up. And so I totally did it to myself. It wasn't like the ghost just wouldn't leave me alone, pulling my covers and stuff. None of that. Like I did it to myself.
Well, plus, I mean, just the lore of the location, it's enough it can be very disturbing. I mean, just if you watch the movie and that's really all that you know, it seems like it's malevolent. It's a terrible spirit there. Um, and another thing, like I remember Wendy telling me about that happening and how she felt like this must be it. This must be her dying. But she also said like she waited for me to get up and when she knew that I was up, was like, okay, good, Chris is up. Now I can go to sleep. That's like when Wendy finally got some sleep. And I was up maybe an hour. Because when I heard that laughing in the bathroom window, I'm like, yeah, okie dokie, guys. Well, I guess it's time for me to get up because I am not going back to sleep after that crazy shit. Um, ooh. And I don't see anything about that here in the notes about the spirits there, but who knows? Because she did write about often hearing voices. The I guess the biggest one is there's supposed to be 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall. And people have taken that for meaning the wall that's around the side of the house instead of the walls within the house,
Hmm.
which would make sense since there was a war on that property that there
Yeah.
might be unmarked graves out there.
Yeah, there's like
Um,
a stone fence out there or something. Just real
yeah.
quick, so people watching this know I've never seen the Conjuring movies. I don't know
Oh, you
anything
should. Oh my
about this
God.
house
Ah.
in that form.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
so I don't know the story of the Conjuring House in that form. I know what I've researched about the real history of the house. So I wasn't like terrified, except for the fact of
Mm.
like everybody makes this out to be a mega haunted house. And like if you're gonna have ghost activity, it's gonna be in this fucking place. So I think yeah. I was just waiting for that the whole time. I wasn't scared. Well, you're as scared as like we were talking about earlier with you. Like you don't really want to wake up and them just be standing by your bed. Like, excuse
And
me.
if that does happen, my camera better be on. That's all I'm saying. If I don't want that to just be my experience. Thank you very much. Like everyone needs to have that, not just me. Well, the thing is about the Conjuring House, the shirts even say "I survived" on the back. You know, it's very intensely in your face as a horrifying. It's going to be a horrifying experience. So even if you hadn't seen the movie, if you're familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren, they did investigations there. Well, they're known for doing investigations at places that are intensely, fiercely, like it's always demonic presences, right? So that's the other thing that's kind of feeding into how you're supposed to feel when you go into this place.
That is true. Yes.
So, and I didn't have any Ed and Lorraine Warren experiences while we were there. But there was one more ghost that I was going to mention, and it's Manny. He is actually another very harmless spirit. Even though this might sound a little creepy, he is an entity that would appear in the hallway and watch what you're doing. They call him Manny, just watching you. We've got a sweeping ghost and someone that wants to tuck you in at night. So it doesn't really sound like it's terrifying. I didn't live there during the time that the mom was freaking out and having all of her experiences, which is what Andrea ended up writing her 3 books about. But whatever, believe what you want to believe. Until you go and experience it yourself, you won't really know. And my experience at the Conjuring House was very peaceful. I really loved it, all except for that fucking giggle outside. That was the creepiest thing that happened to me. And there was a scream. We heard a scream outside too. But then again, that could have been someone driving by at night trying to stir some shit up.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyways, that was a fun place. I have now some video to watch with like a bajillion EVPs. I've got pages of, I got so many voices down there while we were in the basement, and only one of them really actually ties to the supposed spirits that are supposed to be there. And I might be grasping at straws with that one, but I felt drawn to say that it was related to other accounts there. So I'm going to go to my video and play that for you. Okay, here we go. Conjuring House. We're in the basement and we're just getting set up to start our what we're going to do. And you'll even hear us talking about how we're going to start out in the basement of the Conjuring House. This room is, as soon as you come down the stairs, it's right off the stairs. And it's a creepy little room that was at one time said to have been a daycare. Like there's some, I don't know, miniature closet with some kids' drawings and stuff on the inside they like to show you during the tours as proof that this was at one time considered a daycare. I don't know why they'd keep the kids down in this like creepy, it is creepy. There's also a well that's right behind me that they have to keep gated off. And a lot of people speculate that some of the energy is actually festering from that open water line underneath the house, the well. I want to tell you, this whole time I'm recording, my back is to that well.
Fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the spirits are even like, oh God, what are the fucking REM pods? They're so annoyed.
Yes, yeah, they did not like turning that thing on and it screaming right away. They were like, oh no, here we go with this shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and before I get through all of the list, they do not like us here either.
Shocking.
I know. Honestly, I'm starting to think they hate the REM pod. Anytime that thing's around, they're like, oh my God, this one's screaming at us. Oh my God.
I guess we're gonna, should we do it on the stairs or right here?
Let's play with it in here because there's supposed to be some activity in here. I don't know what happens out there.
Okay. So you just,
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was like right there. It's coming up, but basically, we're still, as you can see, we're still trying to set up, still trying to figure out what we're going to do down in the basement. You just kind of got a little show of what it looks like. We got a table. The table's covered in like offerings that people have left. So what you saw there is not every bit of ours. Like there's a candle with a ton of bracelets. There's crystals. There's all kinds of stuff, broken stuff. A crystal ball, playing cards.
And then, did you turn this one on? Do you want to put it like on that side?
Yeah, this one is on.
Oh, it is on, just
Yeah.
right there. And I won't set it off. I don't have even a phone on me or anything.
I don't either. Yeah, mine's upstairs. Oh yeah, yours is too.
So, just, yeah, like all those lights are super bright, but, oh, well, one of them are bright, but, oh, well, one of them are bright, but, oh, well, one of them's a lantern. And then, just gonna get it out to sit down. Oh, well, we're in the dark. You don't want to do like we're gonna need light for dowsing rods or pendulums. So we just go in the dark and do some audio right now?
Sure.
Well, okay, I played that one long because of the yep. I'm right by the camera, and I was worried that that might be my voice. So I played a little long so that you could hear my voice, but it's too long. So it's
I don't think it sounds like you at all.
right. There is an intelligent spirit down here that interacts a lot.
Just, yeah, like all those lights are super bright, but, oh, well, one of them are bright, but, oh, well, one of them are bright, but.
And it's interesting too, because I think a couple of times we talk about lights and shadows and things like that, that we get responses to those types of words. Like we were hitting on something with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yep. Oh, this is another one that's okay. An intelligent one, I feel like.
Oh, well, one of them's a lantern.
I don't know how much you'll be able to hear of it, but you say, I need to turn on my lantern for a second. I need to get a lantern. That's you. You're looking for a light.
Audio right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, so just for posterity, because we saw spiders walking on the table, there's a good chance that if you feel something like on
Crawling
you,
on you. Yeah.
it's not a spirit, it's probably a bug.
Yeah. I don't have a light, so I have to use this little lantern for a second.
Okay.
But I have a little thing.
Oh my God. Do you see this?
Yeah. Is that
Oh, I don't know what just happened.
is it the ghost messing with your
I'm not even going to play. I have had the shittiest time putting this Conjuring episode together. Just so you know, like my computer didn't want to clip it. Did not want anything to do with this. I had to listen to it. I had to go back because after I finally got it out, I'm like, yes, it's finally done. Remember, I think I texted you. I said, I'm fighting with this shit, but I didn't tell you what episode it was. Then I went back to watch it to get it ready to load to YouTube. And like half of the times where I said, this is what it's saying, were gone. Like all of them, all like from the middle, all gone. I'm like, what in the fuck happened? It does not want me to play this episode.
That's so bizarre.
It's,
And then for you to have trouble now, which we've seen that error message before, but usually it's when you first try to share
Yeah.
something. It's not
right in the
in
beginning.
the middle of doing it. Like the fact that it just cut out is kind of weird. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's paranormal, but you are
But-
in a haunted location right now.
I know.
And this is a very notorious place that we're talking about, and you're saying that you already had trouble just editing this stuff. So
Yeah.
that's a little interesting.
Let me see if I can play it again. I don't know. I think I might have to switch to YouTube. Here we go.
So we just go in the dark and do some audio right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, so just for
You see your lamp is sitting right there. That's
Yeah.
I think that's the one you're talking about here in a second. And we don't need to hear me talking about the spiders. There are spiders. We're in the basement. It's gross.
I don't have a light, so I have to use this little lantern for a second. But I have a little thing. But I have a little thing.
It's so clear and
Yeah.
so relevant to what we're doing. I love it.
I know this happens a couple of times. There's definitely something down here that's intelligent. And it wasn't like a malicious thing. It sounded to me like it was a question, like there's a question mark there because it sounds like you lost your lamp. Like,
Yeah, like you're
yeah.
gonna help, or I mean, I
Right.
guess they could think I'm stupid, like, you dumb, you lost your lamp, like, but no, I
No.
mean, they just are commenting on it.
They're commenting on it, but I wonder if maybe somebody had something to do with that. Because again, everything around light sources and shadows, and then there was like a mischievous spirit that we had heard was down here in the basement. I think one of the tour guides told us that. I didn't
Hmm.
see that in the notes, but who knows? Maybe this is the guy that just likes to linger in the hallways. I don't know.
Well, I think no more lanterns. No, well,
Oh, I was just looking at it the wrong way.
I think it's about to shift here in a second to the next
Okay.
one.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, they're just like, they're setting up shop.
Like we talk about this so many times about how we go to one space and they run off to another, you know?
Yeah,
So they like, yeah, let's get out of
right.
there.
Let's get out of here. I think that's exactly what they're talking about. And I like that I hear let's.
Hmm.
So it's one voice that I'm getting, but there's clearly a spirit talking to an. I don't think that they're talking to us like, "Hey, all, let's get out of here. Let's go to a real shindig." No, they're. I think that they're. I think they're interacting with the other spirits here.
Hmm.
Do we do the recorder first, or ask
Yeah.
it to like move some? I guess we can do
Oh,
that with the recorder.
yeah, we can. Yeah, then we could. It might speak or something. Yeah, let's do both.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it actually. I'm gonna lay this on the table. We are in the basement of the Conjuring House. Also known as the Conjuring House. Also known as the Conjuring House.
Who's in the hallway?
You know, it's
Hmm.
them just watching us.
Just watching it. So that was my like Easter egg out of this whole thing. Like there's some really good EVPs, but knowing that there is a spirit that likes to linger in the hallways and watch, and then I gotta let's get out of here. We are talking about setting down this EVP recorder on the table, and we're in the basement, and then somebody says in the hallway. Like I felt like these all everyone here is part of this conversation,
Hmm.
you know. And then there's Manny. I think.
Also known as the Harrisville Farmhouse, the Arnold family home.
So I'll kind of skip ahead here. We're this location has a number of names.
Hmm.
If you look it up online, and that's what Wendy's going through. She's like, "This is what it's called. This is what it's called." What do you know it as? Talking to the spirits. We get a voice here, but it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not sure if they're actually interacting with your questioning, or if they're responding to something else, or if this is a fragment. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
That could tell us, what would you call this home? What name do you? What name do you? What name?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's so weird.
Hmm. At first, I was like, "Is he saying it's baloney?"
I mean, maybe like because you are telling me what you think it's saying, so my brain is
Right.
trying to process that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so if it's close to it, I'm gonna hear what you're telling me. And
Oh no, I
yeah.
I settled with its belonging because after I listened to it, like I thought baloney, and then you listen to it again, I hear belonging, not
Yeah.
belong. But when I heard it at first, that's what I thought. I was like, well, that does make sense. And I listened to it again, I'm like, it's belonging. That doesn't make sense to me, but that is the voice that I'm actually picking up. So is that residual? Is that, like I said, a fragment of something else, or is are they actually trying to tell me it's belonging, like to, and I just didn't catch anything else.
One more note on that, and this is random and I don't know what I'm really talking about, but I believe that baloney is pronounced different in other languages, like Bologna
Oh yeah.
or something.
Bologna. Yeah, you're right.
Just so
That's
you
true.
know.
No, it's
Maybe
good.
they are still saying baloney.
That's good trivia for the show. Anyone that comments baloney in whatever language,
Yeah.
you get something awesome. I don't know, more shows. You'll get a ghost tonight. How about that? All right. So, all right, I got it's belonging or it's belong. Yeah. Okay, this next one's cute. They are throwing some shade at us, or maybe to the person that we're referencing. We start going down a rabbit hole. Now, we do this often. Wendy, we did start recording to try and pick up voices. And I can't remember if in this part we're replaying what we had listened to or if we're still going down the rabbit hole talking about stuff. But we mentioned seeing shadows. And when we were at Waverly, how the guy that was our tour at Waverly was like, look down this long hallway and stare into the darkness. Turn all your lights off, every light, turn it all off, hide your cameras, turn it off, and just stare down this until your eyes start to develop these shadows. And that's kind of, I think, what we're talking about in this part. Again, it's about shadows and light, and I get a voice.
I remember seeing it and thinking, holy shit, I see the shadow coming out. I see it. I see it.
It's the same when you like do scrying or stare into smoke or, you know, interesting.
It is.
To see, I try to understand, to see, I try to understand, to see.
Isn't that great? I've never gotten that kind of EVP before in my life, but I hear it clearly. It wasn't like a baloney, and then I went and listened to it a couple more times and got belonging. I heard wacko every single time.
Replay it because I've laughed all over it. I'm so sorry, but that just, you know, we're just trying to debate things and have a conversation, which we're not supposed to be doing right now. I get that we started a recorder. We're supposed to be like giving the ghost space to talk, but we have a problem. But that is hilarious that they just think that we're nuts.
They might actually be talking about, because we're talking about these people with these ideas and how we've tried them based on their ideas. So they might just be like, that guy's a wacko. Might not be talking about us.
Yeah, joining in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, because we're not saying that we necessarily believe in these things. So,
Right.
Interesting. It is to see. I try to understand, to see. I try to understand, to see. I try to understand.
Yeah.
I love it. And that voice is very similar. Like it's a repeat voice that comes through a couple of times. I think it might have been the one that said in the hallway. Maybe not, but it's more of a higher pitched frequency of a voice that comes through. So, I can't remember what that one relates to. Let me play that next one a little longer.
And it does help about the shadows, because I would assume that's why people experience.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell we're replaying what we listened to on the audio. Now we're checking to hear if anybody had responded on the audio.
At that time of day that she's talking about, because the light is changing outside. Right. There's low light, but still a little light. Yeah.
Not on the audio, but on the recorder, on the camera, while we're listening to the audio. And it's a lower pitch. It's not that higher frequency. It's like kind of a male's go away.
Yeah, for sure. I even think I hear something right before go, like,
oh yeah.
But you know, they shouldn't use the word y'all, but that's what I hear. Like y'all
that's
go away. Yeah.
I would assume that's why people experience it at that time of day that she's talking about, because the light is.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hear y'all go away too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this house has been around since the land was there and the fighting and all of that was in the 1600s. So, I mean, this could be a spirit that would have said y'all.
I literally use y'all all the time, so I don't even notice that other people don't use it. In my head, it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know what other people think about me when they hear me say y'all. Like, so I don't know. I don't know. We would just consider it a Southern word, but maybe it's not.
It is. I mean, that's how I say y'all all the time too. And living in New England for like the past 15 years, I got made fun of a lot whenever y'all came out of my mouth. I don't give a fuck. That's just what I say. Y'all have to get used to it. My husband likes to say that he'll never use the word y'all unless he's saying fuck y'all. That's the only time he's gonna say it. But he will say it in that context. So it's like it's gonna fall out of your mouth. I feel like it's something that you do develop living in the South, because I was made fun of it for living in New England and saying it up there. It definitely doesn't come out of their mouths, whatever. And the Conjuring House isn't in New England. It's in Rhode Island, so who
Right.
knows?
Oh, I almost said it's in Pennsylvania.
It's because Ed and Lorraine Warren did a bunch all over the place.
Well, I think just because we were talking about Gettysburg. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
my
Yeah,
brain is still there, though I know that's not where the Conjuring House is.
gotcha. No, that makes sense. All right, so I get two more here coming up, and one of them is kind of weird. I'm not sure if they're talking to us or to another spirit in the room or what, but
I don't believe everything that they say, and those that whole put in the head those that whole put in the head those that whole.
So I was shifting, and I think I even kicked the table or something, because you'll hear the like a thump and you'll see a vibration, but there's a voice underneath it's kind of higher pitched again. It sounds like it says "Let's go."
I don't believe everything that they say, and those that whole put in the head those that whole put in the head those that whole putting the headphones on and telling me what you're hearing, but I don't get to hear it.
Yeah.
And you make a whole story out of it.
Yeah.
And you make a whole story out of it.
Yeah.
And you make a whole.
So that one was a little weird. I didn't bump the table. I didn't shift or anything that time, but I got a hag, and I don't know what that's related to. Except it's funny that the Bathsheba Sherman story is about her being this witch that cursed the Arnold family. So like that's the only hag I would consider there being a relation to. Otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about, because I don't see why they would like direct it towards us or anything like that in the moment. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, they haven't been nasty. I mean, they've been like, go away, but not nasty.
Story out of it.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
It is suspicious. Somebody could be good at making shit up.
Like me.
Random words. Different voices. And
weird words.
different voices.
And
Weird words.
different voices. And
Yeah, I couldn't pick it out. There's something there, and the table gets hit again, but I'm not sure what they're saying after that. Maybe they're making fun of me for
I've
talking.
never gotten a full story.
no, I get words. Weird words.
Yeah, random
Random.
words. Weird words.
Different voices. And
Weird words.
different voices. And
Weird words.
different voices. And
It almost sounds like a whopper, like a tall tale or something like that.
Yeah, that could work. It's just for me, I'm having a hard time because, we're talking at the
Talking.
same time and it's so quiet. But you definitely hear that there's something extra there.
Yeah, there's the decibels of a different voice that's coming through. Oh, wow. So I don't know. I struggled with that one and gave up. I was like, yeah, okay, it is what it is, and it is not something I can hear.
Like kind of meditating
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
yeah, the trance state.
Yeah. Getting to that to connect with the spirits, I do get that, but it sounds like something you get that, but
So this is that higher frequency voice again coming through, and I think that they're like, why are you telling us? Like, what do you want us to do about it? Tell your people. I don't know. It was kind of a funny, like I heard it right away. Tell your people.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The next time that we are investigating, I want to try so hard to be better at just being fucking quiet and
I know, right?
allowing them to speak. But then we've also seen where we do that and nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
And they
Yep.
tend to talk when we're talking, like to get our attention, even though it's not working because we don't realize we're getting it. So
Yeah.
But I just want everybody to know I know how annoying I am, that I'm just
No,
running my mouth about all these theories. Also, this, you have to know that Chris and I only see each other like twice a year. So,
right.
yeah,
This is our time to catch up.
right. We text every day and stuff, but I don't know. Just like we just literally saw each other this morning for the first time in months. And so
Mhm.
we're just kind of visiting and talking about things,
Well,
in
I
the
think
middle
too,
of a ghost hunt.
in the middle of the night too, especially when you're short on sleep, you kind of have to keep the momentum going. If you're just sitting there in the dark and you're trying to talk to the shadows and you don't feel like you're getting any responses, it's easier to talk to someone who's going to communicate back with you, and that's what keeps us awake. um, I am not falling asleep, but when I came into this room and I did an EVP session, I just ran my mouth. And I'm trying to get them to talk to me, and then I played it back. I'm just like, God, I'm talking over them. I'm like, blah 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 blah. There could be a delay. They could be pushing to try to respond, but they can't right away. That could be why sometimes we end up talking over them. I don't know. I will do my best to try and let them respond, but at the same time, I feel like the more energy we give to them, the more they're going to be able to answer us, to show themselves and respond. And they're not going to get that if we sit in the quiet.
Yeah, and if that's all that we do, yeah.
Right. So in this case, they didn't understand what we were talking about. They wanted us to tell our own people. This next one, I get a ringing again, Wendy. I get some other noises that I thought were fascinating.
Yeah.
multiple times.
I did see
Like I've
something
ever
over
had an
there.
ocular migraine, and she has.
Right.
She has had them.
I saw like a little shimmer over there.
She has had them.
I saw like a little shimmer over there.
She has had them.
I saw like a little shimmer over there.
It doesn't come through very clearly. I noticed when I'm playing it through YouTube. So again, when you guys are listening, that one might be really hard to hear. I had just mentioned to Wendy that I saw something. I saw a little shimmer of light, and the way that my camera is positioned, it's not in the area where I was. I saw the shimmer of light at the bottom of the stairs or whatever. So obviously that's cut off by the camera with the table, but I heard a ringing noise and then a what, like I caught somebody off guard by saying I saw a shimmer of light.
I think the what is very clear. The ringing is very faint. So
Yeah.
is that what you meant about you can't hear it
Yes.
very well? The ringing? Yeah, I
The
hear the
ringing.
what.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you just said I saw something and then they're like, what?
What? Yeah. Oh shit. She's not
Yeah.
supposed to see us.
So she's gotten sick after that thing
She has. Yeah.
multiple times.
I did see
Like I've
something
ever
over
had an
there.
ocular migraine, and she has.
Right.
She has had them.
I saw like a little shimmer over there.
She has had them.
I saw like a little shimmer over there.
She has had them.
I saw like a little shimmer over
I
there.
love that.
Close to the bottom
Oh.
corner of whatever.
I'm going to play this one out because then you say that you also saw something which was kind of startling, but we try to reason it out that there is a window also on the back wall, maybe because it's windy, maybe because of the lights, and maybe there was somebody walking around out there. We don't know, but that's what we're going to discuss here in this next little bit.
This wall is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Straight ahead. If you were about to go up the stairs. Or this wall.
Yeah, this wall. So shooting into the basement area, like just past the wall. I don't know if there's a spider making a web or something, but it was a little shimmer.
That your light could catch or something.
Yeah.
Well, at one point in time, it looked like that wall, like that dark you see at the bottom,
Yeah, yeah.
moved to the top.
Wow. I didn't see that.
But I'm like, I mean,
Oh, the window?
no, but what? Nobody better be outside that window.
Wow, that would have been.
So that.
Wow, that would have been.
So that.
Wow, that would have been.
So
Look, we were so good with these spirits that they were finishing our sentences.
Yeah.
I love it. I could not believe that I was like, that would have been like, I'm terrible at like starting sentences and then just, that's where I am with that. Take it. The spirit's like, yeah, that would have been real bad.
So I am the worst about starting a thought or a sentence talking to Carl and then just like then just jumping onto something else. And he's kind of like, are we going to go back? But even in my own mind, I'm like, hold on, hold on. I'm telling my own brain, like, hold on, let me finish this thought.
Go back.
And then we'll go to that one. And then I go back to finish that one, I forget this one, but it doesn't matter. I love this. That is very clear, and they are not wrong. It is very bad if somebody is not supposed to be there and they're out there just like kind of circling the property or whatever, which is always a concern of ours in these very popular haunted locations.
Yes. And that was a fear that came up again when we went upstairs when we heard the screaming. I don't have any EVPs or whatever from that point in time, but that was just a fear that we kept having. And I love that the spirits in the basement were so like intelligent that they're just like, yeah, I don't like that idea either. That would have been real bad.
There's a squeaky noise happening right now. Are there birds outside your window?
Yeah, you can hear them. There are birds, I swear, right outside the window. They've got a nest and you can hear that. I'm so sorry.
No, I just want to make sure that we like call that out and everybody knows that weird noise. It's birds. Yeah.
It's birds. Yeah. So it rained. It stormed here all day. And I thought that's going to be awesome. It's going to be, perfect setting for the haunted hotel that I'm going to stay at. And then when I rounded the corner to get to the hotel, then it started sleeting. And I was like, shit, I don't have any snow, anything in my car anymore. I took it all out. And then after I got it, like the wind picked up 20 miles an hour. It was super windy. You could hear things like, I don't know, the roofing like lifting off and blowing away. I don't know. It was really windy. And then the sun came out, and then now these birds are perched outside of this window. Right. Like, happy day. Yeah, that's my favorite haunted room. What you got going on there, girl? Like they are right outside this window. So yeah, that's going to be a problem.
No. I love it. It's fine. I just wanted to call it out so everybody will hear it in the audio.
I'm sorry. Last week it was cats. This week it's birds. All right. So this next one I got is an echo. The voice repeats itself. I seem to get that a lot. And I don't know if maybe I never noticed that before when I was getting EVPs, but like this, I hear it twice. Either my brain is collapsing at this portion of the video, or it really does happen twice. So
if you think about it, they're trying to get our attention. So they're saying something and then they're like, wait, they didn't hear me. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all it is.
Maybe that is it.
What's with the mischievousness? Is it because you get bored and there's new people here, so why not? Like, why not have a little fun? Is that what that's about?
It's like the first time it comes through very clear. The second time, really, you can only hear we're and then hear. Like the all is almost faded away.
Maybe it's like an echo of some kind. They're not really repeating it, but again, as we said this so many times, they're breaking through to another plane of existence. So maybe that just creates like some kind of echo sometimes.
Maybe. Yeah, true. And it makes sense in relation to what we're talking about, because we were just before that talking about the different types of spirits, and we just asked about the mischievous one. So, and this one, that's coming through is saying we're all here. Like, who do you want? do you want the mischievous? We're all here. So I don't know. I everybody here just seems to have a say in what we've got going on. But what else do we have? Oh yeah, this one comes through kind of strange too.
If you can see those red lights, then if you could please walk towards them, and then if you could please walk towards them, and then if you could please walk towards them. And
I feel like if we had been with an audio recorder and we had played that back, this one would have been where you hear the pops, because the do not is hard to make out, but you would have heard the D and the T. Like you can hear it very loud in this recording.
Yeah, I feel like it's very clear. I love how they're there and they want to watch us. But it's the second that we're like, can you do something to show that we're
Hmm.
here? And there's obviously multiple of them
Hmm.
standing around. There's some leader of the group that's like, don't you dare.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably Mom Abigail, the one that tucks people in at night,
Yeah,
and
and
she's
she's telling
slapping her
Manny,
hands.
don't you
Yeah,
touch
don't
that.
do it.
Don't
Don't you touch that.
don't give them anything, okay?
That's exactly what she's saying. And again, it's the light. That's how we would know that they were there. That's how they would interact with us. And she's like, do not. I love it.
And you know what?
As
That
light.
REM pod didn't go off the whole fucking night.
The whole, only when you turned it on and she was saying, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
that was the only time.
But they never used it. I was like, and that was, I think, the first time I ever had it, you know? And I
Yeah.
was like, motherfucker, I spent all this
Yeah, right.
money, went to the
Right.
most haunted house in America, and this
Yeah.
thing never went off.
Never.
Well, now I know why.
Right. They were telling him, don't you dare do it.
Hmm.
Don't do it.
If you can see those red lights, then if you could please walk towards them, and then if you could please walk towards them, and then if you could please walk towards them and like put your touch them.
Do you see the color red?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
I did.
Can you come close to the color red?
So I was disappointed. I couldn't hear it on the camera, but you and I obviously heard something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come through.
We're the only ones there. So,
Yeah, exactly.
minus the host lady person that's in she's really far from us, so we should not hear her at all.
No, and actually you mentioned that you're talking about that. You're like, there's one other person here upstairs, but when we were here during the tour, you could obviously hear when someone was walking around upstairs. So if she were walking around upstairs, it would be making more noise than what we had just heard.
Hmm.
There's one more voice that comes through, and to be perfectly honest with you, is the only one other than It's Belonging that doesn't seem to make sense to me.
So a window or something could have moved because of the wind.
Yeah.
Moved because of the wind.
Yeah.
Moved because of the wind.
Yeah.
And it's so low, and then I'm sniffing after it, and you can tell that my camera's also getting tired because it's doing that cha 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 noise. So it's like the hardest one to hear. But I picked up Bundle here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, that's it for what I got in the basement of the Conjuring House. Fascinating stuff. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of intelligent spirits down there.
Hmm.
They do not like the REM pod, or they do not like things that light up, at least. They are talkative, but not in the sense that they want to interact. I don't know. It's such a, they weren't, there was a point I think they said go away, and then they were trying to get away from us, but it doesn't seem like they ever really did. Like they're like, let's get out of here. And then they're like, nah, let's
Yeah.
watch.
Like
You know?
like we said, I think it's definitely more than one spirit standing there, and somebody like is let's go, and then another person's like, nah, let's just watch a little longer, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then again, they're like, let's go. It's fucking boring.
Bored out of it. They're not doing anything. Let's
No,
go.
I mean, they didn't say we were boring, but they
No.
obviously bring it up again. Like, we should
Mhm.
just go. And somebody wants to stay and watch us. Somebody is very curious. But
Yeah. So
you
watch
have,
her.
yeah, right? You
Mhm.
have more footage from here, right? Because that's just the start of our night.
I hope I do.
Yeah.
I am having some serious issues with my cards.
Uh-huh.
Every time I put one in, it says it needs to reformat. I might lose files. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? I even contemplated buying all brand new SD cards because I can't explain that using SD cards over and over again and pulling stuff off and using it again and pulling stuff off and using it again would damage the card. However, there have been times when I've had to reformat a card after I've pulled stuff off and then I've had to reformat. So that might be just deteriorating my cards.
Mhm.
And now I'm at a point where I'm scared that I've lost a lot of footage. I found some stuff. I just texted Wendy that I found more stuff from the Myrtles. And I said that I found audio. That's because that's all it will be. It was not audio files. They were video files, but the video is corrupt. So I will have to, yeah, the video part is um, a very odd color, two screens, and half of it, like you can see like my forehead. and, and it's a long video, but you can't see anything.
Yeah.
So I know that my files are getting corrupt. It's really upsetting. I hope I can find more from The Conjuring because we did a lot more investigating upstairs.
Hmm.
And yeah, Wendy's right. That was basically just the start of our night. And as you can tell, like they were interacting with us, be it not through any of our equipment, but they were talking. So it will be really devastating if I lost so much, especially since I felt so warm and cozy after staying at the Conjuring. I don't know if that's a thing people even say out loud, but I do. I've been asked before, "Oh my God, you stayed at the Conjuring House. How was it?" I'm like, "God, I loved it. Like peace and love, peace and love." It was so sweet. It was such a sweet vibe. And that was because, I mean, yeah, it was weird, staying in the basement at night and talking to shadows and spiders. That's gross. Screaming, that weird giggle I heard, the hands on the tent that freaked me the fuck out. But overall, when I was going to sleep and I just had that soft, like rubbing on my face, I just felt like, it's all good. So what? There's a ghost here. Good night.
I I would agree. I don't think I get more old farmhouse feel than I do get like evil spirits or anything
Yeah.
like that. So the Conjuring House was a real cool experience.
Mhm.
And I never felt like it was no Velisca, I could tell you that. Like
No.
real quick, I was joking with my sister about going ghost hunting or whatever, and she's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you know I'm down anytime. We could do that, but I'm not going to that one place that y'all really hate." And I was like,
Does she know? She
I
knows the
was
name of it.
she didn't know the name, but I was like, Velisca? And she was like, yeah, that one. Whatever it was, the door, whatever.
The door.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I was like, oh, you got to go to that one. That'd be great. You'd love it. But
Oh man.
but yeah, the I have also we had talked about this texting this week that we're finding as we're starting to get kind of through our stuff and organize
Mhm.
our stuff better, we're starting to realize what we've lost and what
Yeah.
we're missing. And we
Mhm.
need to start like a little graveyard for the missing footage of
Yeah.
places because it's happening, it's a real thing. But with that said, we will grieve them, we will miss them, but I'm super proud of us for doing this, for pushing through and making it like homework to do every week to work on to get
Mhm.
through our stuff so that moving forward, like you at this location right now, like you're in a better position to go home. You know what you did, it's fresh in your mind, upload
Right.
all of it, get it off of your cards, get it to a safe place, labeled correctly.
Mhm.
And like these are things we should have been doing the whole time, but we were also like raising kids and stuff, guys.
Yeah.
So cut a slack.
Right.
But yeah, I have also lost some footage from the Conjuring House. I see where my files are. I have not watched them or anything, but I feel like there should have been a lot more.
Right.
So I know I'm missing stuff, and I've checked all over the place because I was looking for other stuff. Blah blah blah. We talked about that,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's sad, but it happens. We can't like dwell on it too much. It's just awesome that we're getting through it, and what footage we do have is so rewarding.
Mhm.
So I don't hate it
Yeah.
at all. Like, I mean, it's a part of this kind of thing that we do is that
It's
we'll
true.
have technical difficulties.
Right, exactly. I thought that I had some video footage of the hands on the tent, but maybe I just took pictures. And I only have pictures that I see. So, I mean, you don't really see anything. It was one of those things that you had to be in the moment or you had to have video footage of. And, maybe it was, I took pictures afterwards, waiting to see the hands again. And
Yeah.
oh my God,
Well, I think
creepy
we were
experience.
recording on our phones, and I don't know
Mhm.
that it would be something that would come through good.
Yeah.
You had to be there to kind of really see the way
Yeah, the hand was coming down
it
the tent.
looked. It was a vibe. You had to
Yeah, it
be
was.
there. Okay.
That was a vibe.
Alone in the woods next to the most haunted house, hands on a tent. What?
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. I loved every bit of it. Those are two fantastic, like, most haunted places of
I
America,
know, right?
right? So
Yeah.
that was a great combo, and thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. I loved it. When I started finding all of the voices at the Tilly Pierce House Inn, I'm like, man, if I was still in Pennsylvania, I could just go on down there and just do a walkthrough and like do more hallway stuff, even though it's like creaky as fuck. But I'm not in Pennsylvania anymore, so I can't do that. So lucky enough, I am in North Carolina, 2 hours away from other places that I said I'll go back to. So I need to reward myself by doing those things,
Hmm.
and not dwell so much on what I can't do anymore. The
Absolutely.
Conjuring House was a place that I could visit, and I had visited twice. As a matter of fact, this morning driving here to this location reminded me so much of when I drove to do the tour. I just took a day tour of the Conjuring House. It was stormy and rainy. I did not hurt myself this time, thank God. When I was going to the Conjuring House for the first time, I fell going up the stairs and pushed both of my toes backwards, and so walking around the Conjuring House after that was immediately intensely painful, but I got through it somehow. Willpower, I guess. But anyways, yeah. So if you like to see more stuff like that, hopefully no more of the Conjuring, hopefully no more Tilly Pierce, because I don't know that I'll be able to share with you. But like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the subscribe button for sure, so you'll be the first to see whenever we push out new episodes, just like this one. And also visit us on social media. We've got a page on Instagram, we've got a page on TikTok, and on Facebook. It's always COTN_paranormal. I believe the logo looks a little different. It's Evidence Autopsy, which is what you're watching right now. This is our show, Evidence Autopsy. If you're here, you'll know. That's what you'll see when you go to TikTok. But I think our old logo is on Facebook still, our Creatures of the Night Paranormal, which is also who we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you so much for watching our show, and goodbye.
Bye.